great.
What is up, Bucs Nation? It is Monday, November 13, 2023. It is the following up of the Week 10 Bucs versus the Titans at home. You're watching the Loose Cannons podcast. I butchered that intro. You're watching the Loose Cannons podcast. I'm your boy Sammer, hanging out with my guy, my brown brother, Poppy Latte, the coolest and sexiest Dominican I have ever met, and that is not an exaggeration, folks. Latte, I couldn't go to the game, but you were there. You got to experience a home win, which we have not felt in a very long time at Raymond James. The Bucs took care of business against the visiting Tennessee Titans and Will Levis. I know Stank likes to call him Levi's, but he's not. Anyway, I mean, how big was that win for you, Latte? I think it's a massive deal, but I wanted to get your take because you were there. How did it feel, and how important was it for these guys to finally get a win? Not only the 4-game losing streak, but the home game losing streak on top of everything.
The home game thing for sure. I think overall it was massive, right? We could talk all we want, and I hate the cliche crap. We all hear it every year. It's a must win. It's a must win. This is a must win. That was about as close, as defined. I mean, like, of needing a must win. We needed that victory, not just for the record and to keep up with the putrid NFC South, but also for the psyche of the team, man, and the coaching staff and just everyone in that building, dude. 4 straight losses. I mean, stuff starts getting pretty stinky in there. You saw Levante slam his helmet last week. Like, things get interesting. So it was massive to stop the bleeding and get a victory. And it was a plus that it was at home.
Yeah, I was going to say that not only was it just a must win in terms of like the division and all that shit, but having the morale of the team. I know people don't like to hear that word, but that's a big thing, man. That locker room needed a win. That coaching staff needed a win. Those players' psyches needed a win. It didn't matter how it came, whether it was 7-6, 9-6, or 50-2. Like, they needed a win, and it just kind of worked out that we're still half a game out of first place in this division, right? I know it's an AFC opponent, still a big game. Had to win. Had to kind of stop that bleeding, and I think confidence is a big thing with this group, right? They felt really confident early on, and then when things started to kind of fall apart, it's like they can't get out of their way, or something always seems to go wrong. So having them do that yesterday, in my opinion, massive. They needed it. And on top of that, Latte, how they did it, man, they started off slow. They didn't look like they had their shit together. And then it seemed like they had a wake-up call after the first possession and after the first defensive possession, and they're like, you know what, we can't let this snowball. We can't let this get out of hand. And you got to credit guys like Antoine, Mike, obviously Baker, Levante, those types of guys that are leaders in that locker room on being leaders. And I think you could see that from Antoine. It's crazy, dude. He's how many years is he in the league right now?
This is his 3rd year, I think.
3rd or 4th year, and he, like, you can see his leadership just in his actions on the field, dude. Like his reaction to things, his hustle, all that shit, and you're just like, he's not going to let these guys lose if it's up to him.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, dude. And I also agree with they had to get their shit together there. It wasn't something that started off immediately. Like that first drive, as a Bucs fan, if your asshole wasn't puckered up, mine was. I was like, oh my God. Levis, whatever. He's just going to march down the field, just dink and dunk again. We're not going to witness this again, are we? And then Todd just started unleashing all hell on the kid. I loved it. It was like a complete opposite. We were like, dying by 1,000 cuts and playing soft and playing not to lose. And this week, it was like all hell broke. They unleashed Devin. They blitzed freaking Antoine. They were blitzing everyone, dude. I loved it. I loved the pressure. We should have had 3 or 4 interceptions because of the pressure. But our DBs, listen, even when they have it in their hands, like on one, like Antoine knocked the ball out of somebody else's hand. And then another one, it was like they don't have good luck when it comes to intercepting the ball at all. There's zero luck when it comes to that.
So you kind of go back a little bit what you were saying about how it didn't start out quick. I don't know what it is, man, but there's something that I've noticed over the last few years with Todd. It's like he comes out on defense when they're on their first possession, and he kind of sits back and just wants you to show your cards and show what you're going to do. And then he kind of opens up what his plan is, and then he goes after you. This year, we haven't seen too much of the go after you part of that equation, but I think it's a little odd, man. Like, wouldn't you just start your game punching the other team in the mouth as opposed to letting them go down the field and hopefully stop them in the red zone? Because you never know. You could lose by 3 points, and it could be because of that first possession. You could lose by 7 points if they score a touchdown, and it ends up being that possession, right? You could kind of look back and say, I shouldn't have done it that way. This year, it seems to kind of be working out because they're bend, don't break, and they're so damn good in the red zone. But after that, you're right, man. He turned it on, and I was like, this is what we're supposed to be doing every single week. I don't know what the other shit is that they were doing against the Houston Texans. I don't know what they were doing against the Bills. Like, why is this not it?
Put that game plan, just put it somewhere deep in a filing cabinet and forget about those game plans. I didn't say playbook. Those game plans. I don't want to see those anymore. I'd rather go out swinging. If we don't have the corners and you're worried about the third string guy, I don't go out swinging, bro. Go out swinging. I don't want to go out trying not to lose. Go out swinging. If anything, you're going to make him pay. He might think about it the next time you pop him in the mouth, like they were doing with Levis. Like they hit him on the interception that we finally converted with Antoine, where he got hit. What I think they said it was 4 sacks and like 13 quarterback hits. I'm a lot, man. You start thinking about those. You start hearing ghosts and shit. We talked about it with Baker with the offensive line, right? At the beginning of the year where you start getting happy feet and stuff. That stuff affects quarterbacks, whether you get to them or not, for the sack. But if you hit them and pressure them, they start seeing ghosts. It happens.
Yeah,
so,
man. They got after him, and it's like, I don't know what happened. Some point, maybe after that Texans game, Todd and the coaching staff said, we can't do this. Whatever we just did, we can't do it. We can't rely on our front 4 or front 3 to get pressure every single time. We have to start generating that pressure. You know what? We got a guy in Devin White who was asking to do more, and some people thought that he wanted to edge rush, whatever. I like how they used him, dude, this week. It was refreshing. Not just one blitz out of Devin. They consistently had him blitzing. They had him along the line of scrimmage. They had him. Everybody was playing aggressive. Yaya was coming in off the edge. He was screaming out. I mean, they had packages put together for all these guys, and you could tell that Todd said, I just have to go after these guys, and just whatever happens, happens. And if a guy like Josh Allen, a guy like Joe Burrow, guys like those dudes will probably beat you more often than not when you do that. But a guy like Will Levis, let's make him prove himself. Let's not do what we did last week. And dude, it was awesome to watch. This is what they should do every single week. I hope they understand that. This felt to me like a game lot there where the staff kind of said, you know what, let's stop trying to do this and force the issue on something that's not working. Let's do what we do know how to do and what we have guys to do.
I agree, man. I agree. And it was good to see Yaya get a sack. Shaq Barrett got a sack. Vita Vea is not human.
No.
Like, hold on. Vita Vea rushing off the edge at what I don't even know. He's listed at 360. Whatever he is, dude. With the hands to the face, helmet turned sideways, and then it was the most polite sack I've ever seen in my life. Like he was like, I don't want to break you. It was like when you pick your child up and put him on the couch, like sit down, you're in timeout. He just like picked them up slightly and just placed them down on the ground. Vita Vea is not human.
And he did it with one hand, Lotte. He sacked that human being with one hand while somebody was grabbing his face mask. No flag, of course, right? And he just goes, blop. He like pushes him over like you would like your 6-month-old who just started wobbling, on his feet, and you just go, bloop. He just fell right over. And I was like, Will Levis is supposed to be a dude. What happened?
By the way, Sammer, Will Levis is jacked. That dude is jacked, bro. And Vita was just, like you said, just bloop.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I kept telling you guys when we were doing the preview last week. Dude is jacked. Dude, he's yoked. Like, he doesn't look like a quarterback. He looks like some dude that just works out to go to the beach every 2 days, basically. Guy looked ridiculous. And Vita sacked him with one finger.
I hate that I'm going to say this. He looks like Taysom Hill.
Yeah.
Big, yoked guy that can throw the ball. You know what I mean?
But he could throw the ball. He could throw the ball. I mean, he didn't look too good against the Bucs, but... it's like what you talked about.
As he shouldn't.
Pressure.
As he shouldn't. We play the way we play. That's the way this defense is supposed to play. As he should not have looked good. And we were down Carlton.
They were forcing him to look down at the rush. They were forcing him to make quicker decisions. They were forcing him to question his decisions before. And he looked uncertain. He looked uncomfortable. He looked frustrated. Everything that you're supposed to look like as a rookie quarterback facing a Todd Bowles defense. And you talked about Carlton. And so... he obviously misses this week, right, with the toe injury. And so I'm curious if what happened last week and why they've been running this weird zone scheme has anything to do with the fact that he can't play at his
No.
current health level, which again, it's just a question to play devil's advocate. I don't think it is, but it does kind of beg to, discuss it at least because he wasn't there. They ran man press, they ran cover 2 over the top of it, and they were just in the faces of these guys. They gave up a couple here and there, but I think for the most part, they did their job. And then we didn't even talk about Derrick Henry.
What is it to talk about? What do you have, like 14 yards? Like, what is it to talk about?
42 total for both running backs.
As it relates to Carlton and then not running more man, no, I don't think it was that. Todd spoke to it. I think SR spoke about it as well. They broke down film as a unit this week, which I thought was interesting and refreshing, and I kind of like it. And Bowles made it a point to say that this is an open discussion. So if you see something you don't like, or you want some changes, let's hear it. We're open. Like, what's up? So I'm sure part of that was Devin saying, "Hey, like, what's up, bro? I want to blitz. That's what I do best. Like, unleash me type crap." And that's the way he should be used moving forward. By the way, Devin is not going to ever drop back in coverage. I don't think he'll be back here next year. I really don't. So he's not, just fucking blitz him. Use him to the best way you can and unleash him. The defense just plays better overall when we play man and aggressive and stuff. And I think Carlton kind of echoed that a little bit in the press conference. Like, I don't like running zone type stuff. So I think he's fine. He's not 100%, but I don't think that's the reason that they weren't running more man is because Carlton was hurt. No.
So I'm glad that they had that open discussion because now you're hearing from these guys. You're going to tell you, Coach, you're going to be put us in a position to make some plays. We'd like to do it this way, as opposed to I'm going to make you guys do this thing. And I keep going back to, I think they understand that they now have to try to fabricate and generate pressure as opposed to leaning back and letting our guys win, because I don't think we have those guys yet. We're not the Eagles. We're not the 49ers. These teams that can just line up their pass rushers and drop everybody back, and more often than not, they're going to get the job done. We got to send guys in there. And when it comes to sending a guy like Devin, not only is he fucking good at it, dude, but he's more engaged in the game, it seems like, when you allow him to just be aggressive and be attacking type of linebacker from the start. And then he looks better when he's in coverage. He chases down passes to the running backs, tight ends. He's sideline to sideline when you get him engaged early. I know that's kind of a shitty thing to have to say about a guy who should be a pro, right? But when he blitzes early in games, he's on the rest of the day, it feels like, because he's in his zone. He's like, oh shit, we're gonna fuck some people up today. Let's go. And he's more into it, as opposed to Levante, who's just a fucking pro no matter what he's asked to do.
Levante's the fountain of youth. I don't know what. Levante's just different.
Cheat code.
God, the guy's different, bro.
He found
we got a super chat 199 from Scott Jackson. Keep 94 on the edge. Not fair on offenses. So quick. 94 is different, dude. I sent a text this morning and I said, "What a steal! That's a stud." He's so good. And he's what is it? His third game, fourth game, Sammer? Like, he hasn't even scratched the surface yet, bro. Wait till that guy has an offseason to really, polish his craft and hone in and gain, put on some muscle. Oh my God, he's special, man.
How about an actual training camp? He didn't get one of those, right? He didn't get preseason. He didn't get all those weeks. But what I noticed about him is when they run games with him, he's so agile with his feet. He's so quick in his movements, and he slices through the gaps that he's supposed to. And obviously, you can't run certain things with a guy like Vita Vea's size. He's just not adept to moving around and not literally hitting people, right? He's not going to make a 90-degree turn in your house and not hit the corner of the wall. So having a guy like Cansey who can do that stuff, and dude, he reminds me a lot of Aaron Donald. I want to put that on him, but he looks so much like Aaron Donald.
Those are the comparisons. Those are the comparisons coming out. Honestly,
crazy. And he's so, like, he's there. He's making plays. He's chasing guys down. It's just like, holy shit, when you get him and Vita next to each other and he knows what he's supposed to be doing, as opposed to just kind of, right now it just looks like he's still thinking a little bit and just leaning a little bit on athleticism. Imagine when he knows what he's doing, he doesn't have to think about it.
Oh my God, it's gonna be scary. Greg DeCruz said earlier, Yaya is gonna start taking some snaps from JTS, and now we have Scott Jack saying take JTS out. I think he had 2 more snaps yesterday than JTS did. Yaya, I'm referring to. I think you're going to continue to see that. You're seeing more of a platoon. You saw a little more of him and less of JTS. I think that's going to continue to happen. I mean, when you're outplaying somebody, you're outplaying them. It's just that simple. And Yaya's outplaying JTS. He is.
I think Ples said it last week too, and a couple other people who know ball have said the same thing. He's more of a number 2 guy, JTS. And so when you kind of lean on him and he's kind of being forced to be something he's not, it does make him look a little bit worse. I also think Chris is a little bit too far off the deep end with him. He did play the run really well yesterday. Like, we have to give him some credit, but when you talk about Yaya, the dude's physical presence screams off the screen when you see him. He's fast. His speed screams off. And his physicality, like his power, is unreal, dude. He's so long and just... I can't even compare him to anybody. I don't know who to compare him to because he's not JPP, because JPP didn't look this massive next to him, right? This guy's got traps, but you saw him when he was on the field, dude. He was just faster, stronger than anybody they put in front of him. And you're like, got to find ways to get him on the field.
Agreed. Sam, I got a question here in the chat. It says from Mark. It says, who had a worse day, Saints fans or Titans fans? I'm gonna say Saints fans, because one, your quarterback got hurt and you found out that he sucks, which we already knew that. And then your backup quarterback that everybody says is amazing and is going to take over the world came in and threw 2 interceptions like in 2 minutes. So,
but you know what they were talking about? You know what they were talking about? Oh, Jameis really invigorated the team. You could feel the offensive spark when he got in the game.
Yeah, fantasy football-wise, yeah. If you had Chris Olave, great. Listen, we lived it down here. If you had Mike Evans or Chris Godwin, he's going to chuck that motherfucker, and it's great for fantasy. And guess what? If he throws a pick six, it's still great for fantasy because then he's going to have to chuck it even more. So if you have one of those offensive weapons, it's great because you're always in a game script where he's chucking it downfield. So keep chucking it, Jameis. I love it. Keep chucking it, bro.
Charlie Johnson says Marquise Watt's pretty good also. Yeah, I think we saw some young guys. We saw some young guys flash yesterday.
The interception we finally converted on, he's the one that got the pressure and hit Levis and hit him really nice.
Latte. We should have had 6 picks yesterday, man.
I know.
One of them, Levante accidentally hit the ball that was coming directly to Antoine's hands. Antoine could have had 3. And then the other one, Levante dropped. And then I think there was one in the end zone that could have been Antoine's. I don't know what these guys got to do to catch. It's like bad luck or they just miss them. And so many of them are just these pop-up situations. You're like, this game could have gotten out of hand a lot sooner than it did.
Could have been ugly, bro. It could have been a train wreck for the Titans. Woo! Could have gotten bad. But you said, tip of the hat to Todd and for making the adjustment and all that and just seeing it for what it is and let's play the best to our abilities. You can switch to the next topic there. Canales attacked. I'm excited that Canales also, Coach Cajones, also adjusted and said, you know what? We're just not going to slam Rashad White over and over again in the middle. Why not do that? There were some toss plays. There were some new wrinkles. He got him the ball in space. I want to see more of that, though, Coach Cajones. Like, what do you have, 2 targets only? More. This might sound like blasphemy. I'm not saying, in my opinion, he is. But some people has gone as far to say that he's the 3rd option on this team behind Mike, then Chris, then him. I'm going to say he's probably the 2nd option on this team. The way it's flowing, the way it's going, Baker likes to throw it to him. He's great in space. Clearly, there's some chemistry or something's going on. They need to fix it because 14 is way too fucking talented not to be getting the ball more. But as far as the way things are flowing now, I think Rashad is the 2nd target of this offense, honestly, between him and Cade.
Yeah, dude. His ability not only to just be around the line when they are in passing downs, but they've got to – I think they still got to do way more of this, but which is just intentional targets to him, intentional plays, screens, those little flare-out plays. Get the ball in his hands and let him work because he just makes guys miss. He runs guys over. You saw how fast he looked on that play. They clocked him at like 21 miles an hour, I think they said. I mean, that ain't slow, man. This guy's like got Kamara type breakout type speed, and you got to use that. I still don't think they use him enough in terms of how they run, but the game didn't start out very good on offense, Latte. That first quarter and a half, all the way up to the halftime, honestly, was pretty terrible. They were still doing too much running on first down, too much giving up, just easy looks to the defense. And then something happened where they said, fuck it. Let's just throw the ball on first down like we've seen in sporadic moments throughout this first half where it has worked. And I tweeted, we need to continue to throw the ball to set up the pass. So I actually meant throw the ball to set up the run because that was actually working yesterday. And just like what we talked about earlier with Todd, I think the coaches are starting to learn some stuff here and say, you know what? Let's stop trying to force something that's not there and just Let's just do what we know how to do and use these guys that we have. I mean, it doesn't make any sense not to throw the ball 5-6 times to a guy like Rashad.
Hey, Pat Williams said they clocked him at 25 miles an hour.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
That is moving, bro. Golly, for a man that size. For a man that size, that's silly. Yeah, I agree with everything you said, Sam. They just got to find more ways to get him the ball. I think maybe there was a coming to Jesus in the locker room. I don't know. I wasn't there. Sam wasn't there, but they came out different in the second half. Maybe it was like, hey, Dave, fuck it, bro. Let it hang out, because if we don't fucking figure this shit out, we're all gone this year. All of us. And you're going to be one and done as an OC. So I don't know. I'm just fucking talking shit. I have no idea, but they just seem different coming out in the second half.
Yeah, and Greg DeCruz makes a good point that if you continue to use a guy, Rashad, like that, eventually teams will have to start to game plan for him, and eventually have to make sure a linebacker is paying attention to him, make sure a safety's paying attention to him, or have an edge rusher kind of peel off and not rush as opposed to, sticking with him. Now it opens up things for everyone else. It gives more time to Baker. It allows guys like Chris Godwin, who we're talking about, to get more space to work underneath. Guys like Kate Otten, it helps. And so I think that's what I think they're slowly learning this finally, right? It's taken them too many lumps, honestly, in my opinion, but we're getting to a point where Canales is kind of understanding that, like, I got to just get my guys the ball. I mean, Mike Evans yesterday, do you see how good it looks and how great it feels for the rest of the team and the offense when you intentionally get that man the ball?
It's incredible. It's like it juices up the entire offense. It gets everybody going. They've talked about it in the past, right? Even with the Brady years, when Mike makes a big play, the entire offense is like, fuck yeah. Everybody just gets amped up. Like, I want to make a play. Let's go. It's just different. You get your guys the ball. He's the guy. You get the guy the ball. It's that simple. He had a huge third down drop, again, that I hate to see it. More drops than ever this year. But he came back clutch and dropped the touchdown. But then he came back again and caught the touchdown. So his stat line was weird. It looked like he had a monster game. He could have had a ridiculously big game. But he still got it done. Still got it done when it counted.
Yeah, I think that long pass that him and Baker connected on, if Baker throws it right, that's a touchdown, right?
I agree.
That's the same drive that he ends up dropping the touchdown on anyway. So he ends up getting one there, but he could have had a monster day. He still had that weird third down drop. You could see the frustration on him, though, in terms of he's not frustrated so much with the offense like some people have put on Twitter. He's frustrated with the fact that I think he's pushing too hard. You know how you're talking about the contract. You want to prove yourself. You want to show the world, maybe not the team you're on, but maybe other teams, that you are worthy of that next bag. And sometimes you put too much on yourself, and you press, and that's not good for an athlete. It's not good for anybody, actually, in all life. But Mudfish Matt reminds me to remind you to smash the like button, please. If you're new, hit that subscribe button. And obviously, don't forget that you can listen to us on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, Google, and anywhere you want to listen to your podcast. And if you do listen to us, make sure you leave us a star rating at some point and hit the subscribe button if that's something that's an option on any of those platforms. Latte. We talked about the offense. We talked about the defense. Before we get to these game balls, man, I got to talk to you about something that I think is bothering everybody. And that's the special teams on this fucking team, man. I don't want to say we have dumb coaches, because these guys, obviously, they've been doing this longer than you and I know anything about football. So I don't think they're dumb. But I do think we have a very low IQ special teams unit, especially as it relates to returns and coverage.
Fair catch the fucking ball. Fair catch it.
Thank you.
Automatically get it at 25. What are we doing? As a matter of fact, on the opening kickoff, didn't they do that to us? The Titans were like, fair catch. Yeah, we're just going to take fair catch it at the 5, and we're going to get it at 25. They did it to us.
Teams know that we don't do that. Now they're just kicking it short, and we're taking the bait, and we're trying to run it back. We don't even get to the 20 sometimes. You fair catch it. How do you not know that as a team? Like, hey, don't even worry about it. Get us to the 25, dude. Don't even take a chance. And then on top of that, on punt returns, like, I think Devin Tompkins he brings some juice to special teams, right, to return game. More often than not, there's a penalty, so it kind of works against him. But when the ball is kicked shorter of you, and you don't want to run 20 yards to get it, obviously. But if you can run an extra 7-8 yards and catch it as a fair catch, why wouldn't you do that? As opposed to letting it bounce and then roll to the 10-yard line.
You're talking about the south end zone one where he just let it bounce?
Yes.
Well, I'm like, why are you doing that? Why, Larry? What are you? I was hot. What are you doing?
That's low IQ. I don't want to call him dumb, but that's low IQ. Like, go up there.
It's not even IQ. Like, it wasn't even like they were near him, Sammer. The ball hit the turf or the grass. There wasn't a gunner near him as it's rolling. Pick it up. Fucking go down. Don't let it continue to roll backwards and lose field position. What are you doing?
Yeah, but you don't even need to do that, though, after the bounce. I'm saying just wave your hand, run up 7 extra yards, and catch it right then and there. They're not going to hit you. There's nothing to worry about. Catch the ball. I understand that if it's too far, you don't want to run under it because then it could bounce off of you. I get all that. But it was like 8 yards away from him. He could have run under it, fair caught it, done. Or catch it and go down. I mean, like you're talking about. But it shouldn't have even gone to that. Just go up and catch it. Because more often than not, especially the last few weeks, that ball bounces, gets us inside the 10-yard line. Guess what happens? Guess what happens? We're stuck in our end zone, and what do? We run, incomplete or pass, below the sticks.
Position. Yeah.
And we punt it. And I tweeted something in the lines of like, I don't think I've ever seen a team since I've watched this franchise since 1996 have so many starts inside their own 10. And every single time teams do it to us, we get stuck back there and we just give them field position for the rest of the game. And we never flip it back. And it's frustrating because you can fix that with special teams at least.
Scott Jack says 45 will be gone along with Davis if we can purge his salary. I'm not going to say you're onto something. Yeah.
Davis has a salary that they can purge, I believe. But
yeah.
Jamel Dean is the guy I would want to get rid of, honestly.
Yeah,
just because.
They can't purchase, though.
I know that. So it's like a catch-22 that they're in, or catch-24, catch-35. I don't know.
Can anybody catch? Guys. Can anybody catch? I don't know if they can catch. Catch what?
Hey, I'm talking shit about Jamel Dean, but he played a hell of a game yesterday. I got to give credit too. He did play a hell of a game. So I think what we're talking about, we're on the same length here. We're thinking like there had to be some sort of conversation amongst these guys, right? Because Jamel Dean woke up finally, and he's been asleep for about 10 weeks now. He woke up and he played his ass off. I feel like somebody got in everybody's face, whether it was Todd, whether it was Antoine, whether it was Levante, whether it was all of these guys kind of having this conversation saying, guys, that is not us. We can't look like that. And if we love our coach, we can't make him look like that either. And I think something happened and something changed. There's still a lot of shit to work on. Ryan Neal still needs to get the hell out of town. But, the rest of the team at least it felt like they were woken up.
And you won't be able to do that. Greg, by the way, disagreed. David will be here. White is gone. I didn't say Levante David. I said Davis with an S. 45. Davis. I think David will probably be back. He wants to retire a Buck. Unless he retires, I mean, he's not going to go break the bank anywhere else. We'll have more cap space. I think he'll be back because they want him to retire a Buck. But as far as the Neal thing, they're not going to be able to get away with that with all teams. Like yesterday with the rookie quarterback and with the way the Titans deploy their offense, which kind of runs through Derrick Henry, it's easy. Derrick Henry's in the game. Neal, you're in the game. go, be in the box and fucking hit Derrick Henry. If Derrick Henry's out of the game, D, you're in the game. And they were just platoon up. You can't. That's cool against the Titans. You can't fuck around and do that against the Niners because they will play action or run something on you. You think they're going to run it and they won't. And next thing you know, we're watching Neal kind of chase somebody 75 yards down the field for a touchdown again.
But the thing with Neal, man, is his angles are so bad against a team like the Niners. Oh. You're not going to be able to cover all these guys, but you got to be able to make the tackle. You got to be able to come at the right angle and at least minimize what they do to you and make them work their way down the field. But man, you can't have that guy out there. He could be a massive issue. I mean, I think he's a massive issue. He could be a more massive issue than we've seen probably next week. But we're not talking about that game just yet. Man, Latte. We haven't done this before. I think we're gonna give our game balls this week. We're gonna do that kind of as a little. I kind of put it in the chat there. I put the poll in there. Have you guys vote for the game balls for this week's win? Mike Evans, I believe, is running away with it right now, but I don't think it's Mike Evans. I should get it.
I have a different one. I would like to give it to a coordinator, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to give it to a player. You guys know Mike is my guy. Off the field more so than on. But with a rookie quarterback coming in here and everything revolving around Derrick Henry and the importance of that to help said rookie set up play action and feel comfortable and not have to shoulder everything, I think there is no way in hell we win that game yesterday without Vita Vea. Vita Vea was a one-man wrecking crew. He was in the backfield. He got sacks. He was everywhere. He was absolutely everywhere. And without Vita, I just can't imagine. 94, Kancey was really good. But I feel like right now, Vita is the engine that drives this defense. I can't imagine this defense without him. It's what allows 54 to get loose. It's what allows 45 to get loose. It's what allows all those blitzes and beautiful aggression that you saw yesterday, is because Vita's taking up 2 and 3 people and still getting pressure. That's not human. That's just, he's an alien. I'm going Vita Vea.
Listen, I agree with you on that, and I would, if you hadn't said Vita Vea, I was going to say Vita Vea because I agree with you. He makes the whole thing run, which is, it's not a knock on the other guys to say that, because he's just so massive and he demands attention and he makes everybody around him better. Antoine's another guy that you could probably argue is, an engine on this defense, because he does seem to be fucking everywhere. Yesterday, he couldn't get to the quarterback. He affected him. And when he did get to the quarterback, he's just so good at just making football plays. And you could see his IQ is through the roof compared to some of these other guys on special teams that I was talking about earlier. But I got to give love to my guy, Rashad, man. Rashad would get my game ball just because he's been doing it for 3 weeks now. Over 100 up until yesterday. I think he got just under 100 total yards from scrimmage. And that's why, with limited usage. So, again, I still think there's too many options there for Chase Edmonds to touching the ball. He must be paying for touches. He's got to be going into someone's office and be like, hey, listen, here's $500. I need at least 3 carries. Here's another $500. Throw the ball at me 4 times. It doesn't make sense otherwise for him to touch the ball. But Rashad, he kind of woke the offense up yesterday. They kind of started. Something happened after that play. His speed was on display. He's running the ball better. He's seeing the field better. He's not hesitating. We have a weapon there, I think, that we have not even come close to tapping into, which is scary because he's so damn effective at times when we do give him the ball. It's like, if we don't have a guy like Mike Evans, I think this becomes a Rashad White type of offense. It becomes his show. But we do have a guy like Mike Evans, so he still should be able to eat.
Oh, my God. Oh, God, no. Oh, God, no.
There's no way that's true.
No. Oh, shit. Just fucking pissing my Cheerios. I love JPP. I love Joe. Tell me JPP went to the Saints. Oh, fuck. Oh, I'm sorry. This is why you watch this. We're not a buttoned-up show, guys. What? Oh.
No way. There's no way. There's no way it's true.
It's got to be
Did Dove report this? Because if he report, it's not true.
Oh, my. On Bleacher Report. Oh, my God.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks to sign JPP. I am fucking sick.
Oh, you know what? He's washed up. Doesn't matter. Don't need him.
You won a Super Bowl with it. What are you? Oh.
I wanted him for his leadership, man. That's all I wanted from him. I didn't need him to even suit up. I would have paid him $3 to $4 million a season just to talk shit to everyone's face before every game. Just walk up to Devin and be like, "You fucking suck. You need to fucking show me something, boy. You need to get out there and show me you're a man." I needed him to do that. I needed him to be the hype man on this team. Now he's a Saint.
He's dead to me now. He doesn't exist.
Sorry, JPP.
I'm erasing. I'm literally getting marker and I'm sharpening the Super Bowl picture right over his face.
Dude,
nope.
We got to see him in those fucking stupid uniforms now.
We got to see him at the stupid. It's not stupid at all. We got to see him at the gala. That's going to be interesting. Hey, GPP, pass the bread, bro. Fucking Saint. What?
No, that's it. And yes, Cali Bucks, he can call Devin boy because Devin is much younger than JPP.
Correct. And King Cook, buddy, this is 2 weeks in a row. Bro, it's not that serious, man. You want a hug? Everything is so negative. He's like, let's see Vita do it against the Niners. Bro, the Niners, Greg said earlier in the chat, the Niners are an elite fucking football team. We're not there. We were there a couple years ago. We're building back up towards that. We're not there. So we lose to the Niners. Let's not say Vita Vea sucks now. Come on, man.
But Latte, the last, before this past week, their weakness is on the outside edge in terms of the secondary. We had 2 guys that should be able to exploit that. Can our coaching staff take advantage? They lost 3 games in a row because they couldn't cover wide receivers. Chase had a day. Who else had a day? I can't remember who it was a couple weeks before that. But I'm just saying, like, if we could throw the ball, we got a chance. But we also got Bosa and
we got a
Chase
show
out there. You got a whole deal.
Hey, we got a show on Thursday, so I'm not going to give up everything. This sounds fucking crazy. The Niners are likely going to beat us. They're likely going to push our shit in. They're just a better fucking team all around, right? I, as afraid as everyone is, I don't think they go out and have like fucking 8 sacks like people are thinking against us because of Bosa and Chase. Gadecki is playing really fucking good football right now. Has shut down some pretty good pass rushers. And Tristan Wirfs is Tristan Wirfs. I don't need to say anything about that. Interior, like Hargrave and those guys in the middle, yeah, I'm a little nervous, but we did a pretty good job against Big Jeff this week, who's top 5. I don't know. You guys tell me in the chat. From everybody leading up to the game, they were like, oh, man, Big Jeff is going to fucking eat. He's going to destroy everybody. He wrecked a couple plays, but he didn't wreck the game. I'm just not going to.
The thing with the Niners, though, Latte, is that they do move those guys around. They are very creative with that. Are they good as they have been the last couple of years when Ryans was there as a DC? No. But they are going to try to move those guys around. But, man, speaking of Gadecki and Wirfs, they were top 5 in terms of their PFF ratings on for our team this past week. Again, it's like week in, week out, our tackles are top 5 on our team in terms of performance. And you know what? We didn't even talk about Baker today. We didn't even talk about him, which is not a bad thing. He had one bad decision, in my opinion. Bad throw, bad decision. Shouldn't have done it. Wiped it clean.
It was 3rd and long. He threw it up, but he probably could have checked it down. Whatever.
It was a terrible throw. It looked like it came out of his hand. That made it look like there were 3 guys down there. Still only 2 guys down there. Nonetheless, don't make that throw unless it's Mike Evans. Devin Tompkins should never have a ball thrown to him when there's 2 people around him.
That pass pissed, slightly pissed me off a little bit. And the other one that I just didn't like, that just left a nasty taste in my mouth, was the Mike Evans got behind the defense. I mean, Mike Evans, guys, if not for the drops and some of the misses, Mike Evans could have had a bigger game than Chicago. Like, he was open, like, what was it, a 60, 70-yard touchdown, play action. He got behind his guy by like at least a few strides, right, Stammer? And he didn't put enough air on it. He like threw it on a rope, and it's like, no, man, float it out there. Let Mike go run underneath it. That's a touchdown. He missed that one. But other than that, Baker was fine. He wasn't phenomenal. He wasn't, Patrick Mahomes, but he got the job fucking done. 278 and 2. What else? What, fuck.
I think he did a good job, man. Other than that one, honestly, that weird throw to Mike still ended up with a reception, by the way. So it's kind of like nitpicking there. Because they ended up throwing a touchdown on that drive either way. No, they missed that. That was when he missed the one. But that and the interception, you could really look at, say, Baker looked comfortable. He looked like he was more comfortable than we've seen him in weeks. He didn't look like he was double clutching too much, maybe a little bit in the first half. But he kind of understood what was going on. I don't like booting him to his left when he's a right-handed quarterback, and he doesn't have spine agility like you see from Patrick, where he can just throw the ball in any way where his body's like an amoeba. It just forms however. He has to straighten out his shoulders or his hips and get the throw off. And you could see it because he just doesn't throw. He didn't even try. He tucks it away and just goes out of bounds. He's like, I can't do this. I'm sorry.
Jaden was at the game with me this week, and December wasn't there. Jaden was so hot on that one. He's like, what are you? Just run! And I'm like, Jaden, no, hold on, bro. It's play action. He's trying to square his shoulders to see if somebody's open. He's like, he's wasting time. Nobody's open. Just run. I was like, he doesn't know that, though, bro. But you're right. That awkward rolling out to the opposite side where he has to square his shoulders a little more, it slows it down. Because if he runs sooner, he probably picks up more. Not probably. He does pick up more yardage. And I don't remember if he didn't get his first down or not. I think it was only like a 2-yard gain, right? It was a short gain because
I thought they gave it to him because I thought he reached over. But my thing is, I get why you have to do it. You got to create misdirection. But, like, every time they've done it, it looks so uncomfortable for him to even get close to throwing the ball, and he just seems to tuck it. Just stop calling it. Just stop. Or make it easier. The other times he threw it, Latte, in other games, he shovel passed it because he can't turn his hips around to actually make the throw properly. You're like, stop calling this play. Other than a few things. Listen, Baker played a good game. And if anyone watched these games, Latte will agree with me here, and you think the quarterback has been an issue at all, I don't know what games you're watching. I'm sorry.
And Jose, that wasn't the reason he lost. It's funny how this offense gets praised, but last year's offense gets destroyed. This offense is 1 point per game better. LMAO. Who's like? Did you see me streaking down Del Mabry praising? They did the job. They got the job done. I'm not praising them like they hung 45. And last year's offense, it fucking speaks for itself, dude. It was shitty. It wasn't complimentary. It was horrible. They kept leaving the defense out there fucking hanging out to dry, 3-and-out, 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 3-and-out. And it was very smoke and mirrors, right? They had games like Carolina where they fucking went off, like absolutely off, with Mike Evans getting 3 touchdowns and shit. That affects the overall average at the end of the year as well. That offense last year was anemic. They couldn't run it. Tom did not want to hold it and get hit. It's just fact. Everyone is saying it, not us. Everyone's saying the same shit. So if you want to take that as me praising this year's offense because they're playing more complimentary, then take it that way. I don't care. It's been shitty the last 4 weeks when we lost, except for the Texans one, and we let them know about it. When they play shitty, we let them know. Who's praising them?
I'm not even praising what they did yesterday. He should have scored 40 points. If you watch that game, you're like, there's no reason to score.
Exactly.
Should have scored 40 points. I'm sorry. 35 minimum yesterday, but they're at least it's starting to look like their competency from a coaching staff position they're starting to understand, like, let's not continue to waste downs running the ball up the middle. Let's stop running on every first down, it seems. Let's just start using the pass as an extension of the run and just do it that way and set things up like that later on. And then obviously when we had the 20-6 lead, we said, all right, we're just going to continue to run on first down again. It's fine. Like, if we have a cushion of a lead, I'm fine with it, right? I'm fine with it. But Latte, unless you have any last words here, man, for this week, I wanted to say something to you from my heart as an FSU
Don't you
fan.
fucking do the stupid you shit, okay? Because you've been classy. I'm about to fucking mute Salty. Enough is enough, bro. Like, he's coming at Canes fans like there's actually any Canes fans that talk shit anymore. I have not said anything. Have I said anything to you leading up to the game? Did I say anything all year? When we were doing great, did I say, oh, we're back? I don't know. We fucking suck. Don't kick me when I'm down, King Cook. Go nose. Good job for you. But you don't have to kick me when I'm down, man. I'm not attacking nobody. I'm not choosing violence with nobody.
Latte, I do look forward to a day when the Knowles and the Miami Hurricanes, when that game is competitive and entertaining and in a real battle, right? Not just a make-believe battle until the third quarter, right? I want it to be like it used to be, man. I desperately miss those days. Because those days Florida State did win a lot of them too. So.
But they were also legendary, man. In the state of Florida, it was amazing, bro. Amazing. When the Gators were good, the Canes were good, and bro, it was stupid. It was awesome. But great. Congrats to you guys, man. This may sound asinine because it's probably a rivalry like the Saints and the Bucs, right? But you guys got to understand something, right? I was raised a Canes fan. My dad raised me a Canes fan. That's why I naturally, go towards the Canes. That's what I root for. But I'm not an obsessive. I'm not a Canes fan like I am a Bucs fan, if that makes sense. Like, I consume the Bucs every day, 24/7, podcast, watching all 22, watching the games, going to the games, all that stuff. I'm not a Canes fan like that. So this may sound asinine, but good for you guys, man. I hope you guys fucking win. Go all the way. Go fucking do some crazy shit and beat the fucking top 3 that are always hyped and bullshit. I would love to see a school from Florida win it.
Hey, I'll give you credit. You rooted your ass off for a Florida State quarterback who was once a Tampa Bay Buccaneers quarterback. All right?
Because I don't give a shit about that when they get to the NFL, bro. I don't care.
Also, you've done that twice. Just saying. Brad Johnson.
I forget
Brad Johnson.
Too. Brad Johnson.
Forget Brad Johnson. Anyway, let's remind everybody who's in the chat, who's watching us live right now, please hit the like button. And if you are new, you just somehow discovered us, hit the subscribe button. The more subscribers we get, the more likes we get, the more interaction we get in the comments, and of course the chat, the more that we can do for you guys. And for those of you who are listening, don't forget to leave us a rating and a like on iTunes or Spotify or whatever platform you use to listen to our audio podcast. And until we see you guys later on in this week when we preview the 49ers and the Bucs, go Bucs.
Go Bucs.